Hello everyone, I'm Clare Davis and I'm back with Mental Health Chats. We're all about working with you for better emotional fitness. And I'm really excited because today I've got Joyce Diebels from Melbourne, Australia. Hello Joyce, how are you going?
Hello, I'm doing really well, thank you. And thank you so much for having me on.
Well, thank you very much for joining us because this series on body image is such an important series, and I'm really excited to have you on, Joyce, because Joyce is going to be talking all about the body image issues from childhood, which they are coming from childhood a lot of the time now. So, can you just first of all tell us all what do you do, Joyce?
Yeah, exactly. I love to. So I am a certified NLP life coach. And basically, like I help a lot of people with a lot of things, but what I specialize in is helping women with their body image, with their overeating issues, with their diet. Like people who want to lose weight and then they can't and like feel like they're lost. But then from a mindset perspective. So like basically we're all thinking about food 24/7, or we're holding ourselves back. We don't like the way that we look. And so I help them like navigate through that to create a mindset that works for them so that they can experience food freedom. They love and accept their bodies and themselves, and just have like a peaceful, relaxed, balanced mindset in life because of that.
That's brilliant,
So
Joyce.
yeah,
You've used the
yeah.
word mindset twice there,
Mhm.
actually, and it's
Yeah.
all about mindset, isn't it?
It is like the reason why I do what I do is because I experienced like emotional eating disorder and binge eating disorder pretty much from the age of 4, and I struggled with it for 20 years. Going diet after diet, being like super healthy or just like binging. And whatever I did, I couldn't get out of that cycle up until I did fix my mindset and how I looked at things. But I wasn't really aware of the fact that I was doing it. And so admitting and being aware of that change and going through it myself and seeing my clients going through it is literally what changed my whole life and world.
That's amazing. So you've experienced this yourself. What
Yeah.
would be a lovely insight for all the listeners is to really work out, in case they're living with or they themselves have body image issues, to really
Yeah.
understand, why do people have body image issues from childhood?
Yeah, exactly. Now, obviously, there can be loads of different reasons, but the reason why we do have them from childhood, because up until the age of 6, we're very subconscious, living life, very present. And what we do up until that age is we model our parents, we model our peers, we model our surroundings, our environment. And I see young kids with like phones and tabs and like like even the fact that they're not really prone to social media as we are when we're getting older, it all starts there. And we do have environmental things on how we view on it, and that can be modeled from our moms, right? Because we do live in a society, unfortunately, that a lot of women feel pressured to be thin,
Mm.
but still have curves, and men to be like muscly and tall and like like manly. So whatever gender there is a pressure of having to look a certain way. So that is one thing, because if we are young and we are like looking at our mom who's trying to like go and diet, we think like, oh, we need to go and diet because once we do that we'll be accepted. So like it is really about figuring out what usually is going on. And the most common one is not being good enough, because the only reason why we diet is because we're not accepting our bodies. Or like moms, and that was my mom as well, she would already binge eat, she would like eat bag of chips. um, or you are being told that you have to finish your plate, or you have to use food as kind of as a comfort zone thingy, right? So you use it for comfort to deal with your emotions. Or you've been maybe told that you are too fat. And so what it all does, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, if people tell you that enough, or in those first 6 years of your life, you've been told that a couple of times, it just builds a story in your head. And before you know it, you're like dieting and eventually realizing, okay, I'm actually, a lot of people and a lot of clients say that, oh no, I just want to be healthy, and often, like, I currently work with a client who's like, no, I just want to be healthy, like I gained a couple of kilos, I'm just like in my 40s, my hormones are changing, and so I want to try and navigate that. But underneath that was that body image issue where she just couldn't, and that's what we're working on currently, where she can't let go of the fact that I can lose weight, but from a place of accepting the body instead of, oh, I know I need to lose weight because I don't like my body where it is right now. And that stems from childhood and how you've been brought up. And it's not to blame peers or parents or whatever. It's just how it is. And it's just up to you. You are in control of your own life, and you can say to yourself like, oh, I need to lose weight, or I hate my body, and I always need to finish my plate, or you can choose something different. And realizing that a lot of issues come from our childhood, or like from our teenage years, that awareness gives you like kind of like a springboard towards that mindset shift, that change, that like that freedom, that release. Because once you can really let it go, there's like a whole new world that opens up, and that's within you. You can choose to do that, which is like amazing.
Oh, I love your passion. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. And you've said a few really, really important things there. And I think the first one is the stories we tell ourselves in our head. We do tell ourselves so many stories. We've mentioned the mindset, but it's also accepting ourselves for who we are. This is the way that we were made. Let's just accept ourselves for who we are and enjoy what we've got.
Exactly. Yeah, I can feel that in your words. And yeah, awareness is the first step, because once we're not aware, actually I was in a conversation yesterday where somebody said like, oh, I think it's actually quite hard sometimes for people to open up to you or to reach out to you, because they have to admit to themselves that they have a problem, that they need my help. So it's that awareness, and then creating that awareness by figuring out our stories, like what is our story. And then the next step, indeed, like you mentioned, is kind of like the acceptance phase, right? So you need to have the awareness first, and like doing the work there before you can go into the acceptance. And acceptance is just being totally okay with where you're at, being totally okay with the way that your body looks now, being totally okay with your health. And for me, that was a big problem as well, because I have PCOS and Hashimoto's, and I hated it. I felt like, no, and I've got all these symptoms, and I just want to be like everybody else, and just being able to like eat everything. Like, I just want to be normal. I hated it. Exactly. But I didn't really realize, because the only thing that I saw was what other people were doing, and I couldn't have that. So I felt like I was in a victim role. But being in a victim role doesn't get you in the acceptance role. So once I really accepted, okay, these are my health issues, and it's okay. I have a binge eating problem. It's okay. I don't like my body. It's okay. But I choose to work on it. And the way that we can practice acceptance as well is, or at least that worked really well for me, is like self-love, compassion, gratitude, affirmations, those kind of things. And I mean, it's easier said than done. But even starting with that, right? Like even starting when you go to bed at the end of the day. And it doesn't necessarily have to be about your body if that's still too scary for you, if you have just such a disconnected relationship with your body and you're really hating it. You don't want to push yourself, because sometimes saying like, oh, I love my body can actually pull you away further. So we want to be gentle with ourselves. So you can say, oh, I choose to love my body, or I love my body. Or if you're just willing in the beginning stages, just try like, oh, I love the fact that I could walk around the block today. You know, those simple things. Or even at the end of the day, like lay down in bed just before you go to sleep and go through your day and think of all the things that really made you happy and grateful. And then not only say it to yourself, but feel it, because that practice will just get you the gratefulness on a daily basis if you do it consistently. And it will not only help you guaranteed to feel better in your skin, but just other things in life will feel so much easier. And with that bit of a practice, you can make a whole difference. And that is like outside of the mindset work, of course, but this is just a really easy and fun activity. Like, how good does it feel to feel grateful for the things that you have? Like, I'm like, wee, you know, like it's really nice. And it's a thing that with practice, anybody can do.
Well, Joyce, you've said so many wise words. It's absolutely.
Thank
The
you.
wise words are about how do we fall in love with our bodies? What can we do to help ourselves fall in love with our bodies? We've got one life. We've been given one body. And by the sounds of things, for your own journey, this is just an amazing story. It's taken you 20 years. So this is a quick fix. It's not a quick fix.
No, it's not a quick fix, but I think for me it took 20 years to get into the awareness stage.
Yes.
And that's why I'm so passionate about this, because I don't want other people to suffer the way I suffered. I want them to be fearful and proud and like bold to say like, okay, I need help, and I don't want to spend the next 20 years of my life being in this cycle. I want to get out of it right now. And that loving part, like I said, it's that gratefulness as well. It's also affirmation. So I can share like a thing that actually blew my mind once I did it. So
we've got a couple of minutes.
yeah. So yeah, I was into like my affirmations and like I said, what you love about yourself and gratefulness. But the one thing that I haven't done, but that really changed for me, and like I cried big time, is obviously, or maybe not actually, that's an assumption, but most people, I would say, would get up in the morning, go to the bathroom, and they would have a look in a mirror, like even getting ready, washing your face, doing makeup, that sort of thing. So usually we get a glimpse of our reflection in a mirror, but we're not really looking. We're not really seeing ourselves. And so there's this exercise where you really have to look yourself in the eye, in the mirror, really looking at yourself, and then say for at least a minute, I love you.
Wow.
And I say it now and I'm like, whoo, you know? But like, if you do that, I cried the first time so much. I'm like, because I never really said it to myself, but I also didn't really have that person who really said that with that much intention and truth and belief, because of my childhood, unfortunately. And it's there now, but you know, I didn't feel it. And I had to learn that most of the love that I receive has to come from myself, because I'm the only one who's going to spend the rest of my life, my whole life with me. Like, how can I expect other people to love me if I don't even love myself? So that was a huge exercise for me and game changer.
So powerful. So
Yeah.
I know I'm really, really excited. You've got a fantastic program to help other people, and that's both face-to-face and online. So would you like to tell everyone briefly about the program and how they can contact you? Because I'm absolutely blown away, and this is the work you're doing, Joyce, is amazing. So if you can just tell everyone about the program and how to contact you.
Be happy to. Thank you, Claire. So I do love puns. And so my company's name is Life to Enjoy. So people can find me on Instagram, Life to Enjoy. I have a podcast, a YouTube channel, and you can find me on the website lifetoenjoy.nl. There are a couple of programs that I do. So my signature program is a 3-month program, which is called Healthy Mind, Healthy Body. So that basically I go through weekly sessions to really get to that root cause, really shifting mindset shifts, going into things like health and diet, and like really taking little action steps so that we create better habits on a consistent long-term level. So it's like you said, not a quick fix. You're not going to see, well, actually, sometimes people really see results really quickly, but we are aiming for a long-term change because we don't want to go into crash dieting or restrictive dieting. It's really about changing that mindset, and that is amazing. I also do like getting back on track coaching sessions, and I have a course available which is called Ditch the Diet. So if you're more into like doing it yourself, or you have not much of a budget, that is a good opportunity, which I will go into those stories and limiting beliefs as well. And you can go and do the exercises. So there's lots of options. And yeah, like you said, like I'm so passionate about this. So if you are even the slightest bit interested, just come and follow me on Instagram, say hi, and I'd love to like continue this conversation.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joyce. And you have been just absolutely amazing. And you are based in Melbourne, Australia, but people can work out the time zone because you do
exactly. Well, exactly. I work with clients like in Europe and the US as well. And works.
Next week, we're back to the US. We have Dr. 𝗁𝗵𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗀, and she's going to be talking about distorted body image, which is another aspect of body image issues. So thank you again, Joyce. You have been amazing, and well done, and good luck. Take care.
Oh, thank you. You too, Claire.